Okay, welcome everybody to our September 8th, 2025 council meeting. We're going to start. This is our first council after summer break, and first of all, we'd like to welcome our new Chief Administrative Officer, Lena Grover. Welcome aboard. Good to have you. And we'll kick right off with item 1 is the approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? If I could have a motion and a second to put it on the floor.
So move, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Pence.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any adjustments to the agenda or comments or other discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor to approve the agenda as written?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we accept the agenda. Thank you. Approval of minutes. We have the minutes now from our last meeting, July 14th, 2025. If I could have a motion to put that forward in a second.
Move to approve the minutes as written, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Rice.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Councillor Fortune. Any adjustments to the minutes? Any comments, revisions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. We accept minutes approved from July 14th. Item 3 is a business arising from the minutes. I'm not sure. Do we have any business arising from the minutes?
I'm not aware of any.
Not aware of any, no. Thank you. So we move along to item 4. We have reports from staff. First report is from Chief Mark Hobeck, Stellarton Police Service.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm going to go into just some highlights of Chief Hobeck's July and August report. For July, calls for service were 217 compared to last year for 2024, calls were 280. In August, calls for service were 198 compared to last year at 207. Some highlights of the events for this summer. Chief Hobeck and Constable Wheeler attended the Special Olympics torch run, followed by the opening ceremony at St. Yves, and officers attended various homecoming events.
Thank you. Could I get a motion to get this on the floor, I guess, in a second?
So move, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Pence.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Rice. Okay, we have the reports. Does anybody have any questions or comments? None on police? Okay. And not hearing any, we'll move on to our next. We'll take a vote. All in favor of approving the report?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approved. Thank you. Next item is our Fire Chief, Michael Sullivan with the Fire Department, please.
Good evening, Your Worship, CAO Grover, and council members. Stellarton Fire Department report for the months of July and August. Calls during the month of July, we responded to 16 calls. 4 were for motor vehicle accidents. 1 came in as an iPhone crash notification. 2 were structure fires. 1 was mutual aid. 1 was a tree on fire. 2 were medical calls. 1 was to investigate the smell of propane. 1 was for a report of an illegal burn. 1 was for homecoming planning and prep, and the other 3 were alarm calls. An average of 10 firefighters responded to each call with the exception of the mutual aid call. July was also the ever popular Stellarton Homecoming, where we held our annual firefighters competition and pancake breakfast. Our focus has shifted the last couple of years to make the firefighters competition more of a family event, which includes a kids obstacle course, dunk tank, and a mock house on fire. Overall, the event was a huge success. On behalf of the entire Stellarton Fire Department, I want to thank everyone who attended. Special thanks to the town for their continued support of our specific events, but also for their dedication to the homecoming event as a whole. And it was a wonderful week of events, and we are proud to be a part of it. August saw the fire department respond to 8 calls. 3 were alarm calls, 2 were mutual aid. 1 was standby at our own fire hall. 2 were motor vehicle accidents, and 1 was a report of the sighting of smoke, and on average 8 members attended. And practices were suspended for July and August, and they resumed this month. Cleanup and equipment checks are done weekly and were performed with the individual crews.
I approve the report as written, Your Worship.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Pence. If I get a second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Now for any discussion, anybody have any questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief, for the report. No questions? I see Councillor Fortune thinking about it. Look, I wonder if you have any feedback. So this year, this is homecoming, on the competition, more family-oriented. You know, I wonder, did you have feedback on that compared to the department versus department, I guess, focus in the past?
Seemed to go fairly well. There seemed to be a larger crowd this year than in the past, so it seems to be an event that more and more families are taking their kids to watch, and there's free hot dogs and freezies and pop and water and so on, so that's an added incentive to get more people out. A lot of departments in the past, when we used to have it the old traditional way of having other departments come in and compete, they're getting away from that because it's harder and harder to, people aren't getting any younger, so it's making it more difficult. But I think the route that we're going now seems to be very popular, so we're going to stay with that. So far, so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. You know, I had the opportunity to get to see more events than I typically do, given my position, and I really appreciated getting around. There was a great turnout that day, as with many other events. But the other thing, I did hear in the wind that council might be on the Duncan tank next year. So just to beware, right? Caution in the wind. Any other
I
questions?
think just women on that,
I'm sorry?
not just women on.
I said nothing about, no, of course not. Okay, anything else? Hearing none, thanks very much, Chief. All in favor of approving the report? Opposed? Approved as written, thank you. We now move on to report, Marketing and Communications Report, presented by Paige Draper.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My report was included with the package this month. I have no changes or additions. I do just want to point out sort of 2 things for residents. First being that there are fire restrictions right now. Pictou County is not an area that has come off those yet, so all 3 of our trail systems are still closed. There are barricades and signage up at various entrance points along the Albion Trail, the Old Foxbrook Trail, and the Old Foster Trail. So that is still in place until we are notified of any changes. And the second is our water contingency plan, just that we are still on water restrictions. Even with the rain that we've been having, I know that some residents have been curious if that's changed things, but we are still currently in stage 2, which is alternate day use. There are a plethora of ways to get that information. We do have pamphlets for any residents that may not be online. There's also a designated phone line that people can call that gets an update of what the restrictions are currently and what that means for them. So I encourage residents to stay aware of what restriction we're on and when. It does change kind of weekly, as it's been all summer, but yeah, so just those 2 things to highlight.
Thank you very much, Paige. Could I get a couple of motions before we get into any discussion?
So move.
Thank you, Councillor Pence. Seconded by
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Councillor Rice, thank you. Any discussions or questions for Paige?
I would like to congratulate Paige on a photograph that she took for Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities. She won us a registration, which was good, and I thought the picture was excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. That's worth, what, $750, I believe we saved the town, but anyway.
That's
beautiful
correct.
picture, good initiative. But you know what, I'll also say, Paige, tremendous work through the homecoming and all the
Oh,
coordination.
yes.
We run a lean organization here, and we got a ton accomplished. The town app, right? So it's been a busy year, aside from operations, with all these cautioning, right, with the water levels and the forest ban and so on. It's been a great year to have something like the town app in place, right? So that's a recent development that I think was put to good use, safe to say. So, and anyone that's following the town hall minutes here or the meetings are encouraged again to download that town app that gives pretty good real-time alerts. So kudos for that as well. Any other comments?
I would say Paige is a great communicator for the town. On behalf of the town to the residents, I think she does an excellent job.
Well said, Councillor Pence. Okay. Anything else? Thank you very much, Paige. That brings us to our town engineer report presented by Blaine Murray, item 4D.
Good evening, your mayor and council. Just a couple things to highlight. The South Ford project, we're still working on getting approval through the railway for that, so it's a bit of back and forth, and could update some drawings. So it's looking like it probably won't get done this year, but we're going to keep going down the track. We're getting late into the year now. It's a lengthy process. And on the water side, I just want to give a shout out to the residents of Stellarton. Actually, they are following the water restrictions very closely, and we have evidence of that based on our water usage. The graphs in my report indicate that our usage through the different stages is at or below winter usage. So I just want to give a thanks to everybody for cooperating with that.
That's good. That's good news.
That is the water report? Is that, I just want to keep it separate?
That is correct.
Water treatment?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, Blaine.
Yeah.
Do we do these separate? I'm rusty. You do the engineering together with the, I think we'll do it together.
Yeah, we'll do it
Yeah,
together.
so you just continue through to the next one. Thanks, Blaine.
I'll make the motion.
Go ahead, Mark.
We'll just actually keep them together.
Yeah.
The water report with the public works report, so that will.
Yep.
If we have any questions, we can ask them.
Yep. Yeah, no, the first comment I had was on the engineering report. It was about the Rutherford project. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we've got the motion from Councillor Pence, seconded.
Seconded.
Councillor Fortune, thank you. Any discussion points, questions for Blaine?
I would just like to point out that our town engineer, Mr. Blaine Murray, also does an exceptional job at communicating to council and the community about water restrictions, ongoing engineering projects, the status of replacement items that we've long since sort of forgotten about during budgeting. It's nice to have those updates, so thank you, Blaine. Thought I'd make you blush like Paige.
It's working.
Okay, any other flattering comments? Questions? So a couple of water breaks
Yeah.
occurred.
Yeah.
Can you give us an idea of the time spent on each, or maybe just kind of ballpark cost estimates?
No, I don't have any of that information on me. I can get that to the CAO. And
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no,
But it's typically 4 to 5 people for 4 to 8 hours.
Is that right?
4 to 8 hours, not 48. Yeah.
for a given break kind of thing. It
And it's mostly just labor, so. yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we didn't call in any outside contracted work or
No,
anything exceptional.
that is not normally handled that way unless we run across something that we can't handle, basically, right?
Great.
Or maybe a water break in the middle of a big snowstorm or something like that. That might require additional resources, but we fix our own water breaks. So.
Okay.
Yep.
No, that's good. Good. Appreciate it. So we had 2 breaks, one on Maple Street and the other on Rutherford in relation to the ongoing project.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, the other thing I'll mention is, I got to say this, right? So Public Works is the proper department to direct it to. I'm surprised, this goes in the flattering category. I'm surprised how many comments I've gotten since we took office in November about the flowers on the fort through downtown. Like I continue to get them as recently as last Sunday. So it's well received, right? This whole now we have a position assigned to it, right? Through Public Works, the not just the display but the condition, right? The upkeep of the flowers. So that's kudos coming from at least 5 people that I've received feedback from. Pass that on to whoever may appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Our beautification coordinator and Communities in Bloom work together well, and our own staff too as well with keeping those flowers. And I just want to comment also too, it's probably worth mentioning that during the water restrictions, we were actually using an old reservoir. It's more like a pond, I guess you could say, but we're using that water to water the flowers. So,
Okay.
Yes.
not using treated chlorinated water.
Yeah, there was a lot of curiosity of where you were getting your water.
Yeah.
Are you done, Your Worship? Blaine, could you give us an update on Rutherford Street, where the project is now, and when do you expect it to be finished?
So the sewer is active. The water is now active too, but they started today hooking up individual households down the street. So everybody should be hooked up to the water by the end of the week. And then street rehabilitation. So that'll take the project right up to the end of November, early December.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All in favor of approving the report as presented?
So moved.
Opposed? Okay, accepted as presented. Thanks, Blaine. That brings us to item 5, Growth and Renewal for Infrastructure Development Program, GRID, funding application.
So, Your Worship, I can provide details on that for Council's decision. Council will recall the approval of the funding application this past December. It was for Growth and Renewal for Infrastructure Development Program, known as GRID, which was used towards the ongoing project on Rutherford Street, which our engineer just referenced, which is due to be completed early December. The province has announced a second round of funding for 50% of eligible project costs. Applications are due by October 9th, which is the reason for us bringing this forward this evening and not to Committee of the Whole for discussion, just due to timing. We do require a council resolution to move forward with the application. As the town had applied for PCAP funding towards the South 4th Street sewer line project, but was unsuccessful, it is recommended by staff to apply for GRID funding. This project was budgeted and approved by council for this fiscal year for a project cost of $372,000. So looking for a resolution from council to allow town staff to apply for funding towards the South 4th Street sewer line project. I do have a resolution prepared. I can read that out, and then if there's any questions, Engineer Blaine Murray will be in attendance to answer any of those questions as well. So be it resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Stellarton that the Chief Administrative Officer and Town Engineer be authorized to submit an application for a project under the Growth and Renewal for Infrastructure Development Program, GRID, for the following prioritized project for the fiscal year 2025-26, South 4th Street Sewer Line Project, total project cost $372,000.
Okay, we have a motion to put that forward. Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion around this is an opportunity to ask our engineer. I mean, it seems to make pretty good sense. We're taking another run at funding. We were just denied, right, under a different program. Previously PCAP, now GRID.
Correct.
For the South 4 that we just discussed, right? It's already underway. And so it seems to be a turnkey. It makes pretty good sense to me. Is this for the same amount that we applied for, Blaine?
Yeah, we do use the same estimate that we had before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed in the scope of the project or costs? It's just a funding opportunity. Yes.
Right. I see every reason to follow through with this. Anybody else? Just questions, discussion? Okay, we have the motions on the floor. All in favor of passing this resolution tonight?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passed. Thank you. We're now in item 6 in the agenda. This is correspondence received. The first is Pictou County Partnership Activity Report for Quarter 1.
So, Your Worship, due to its size, this correspondence item was sent as an additional email attachment. So, Pictou County Partnerships Activity Report for first quarter. Some of the details of the report include immigration and community integration, business and entrepreneurship, and community impact. This is for information only for council.
Thank you, CAO Grover. Could I actually, there's nothing to vote on here, but I just want to say, everybody's had a chance to read this. Just as a member of the LOC, the Liaison Oversight Committee, I want to share that the Pictou County Partnership, I've just grown in confidence as to not only their potential, but what they've delivered to date. They're working hard to draw investment to the county, and they're showing good track record of doing that, as well as supporting local startups and existing business. I just want to point out one community impact fund. So it's included in the report. What is included is Q1 activities, so they help through various means help organizations apply for money and secure it in a lot of cases. Last year, they applied for $11 million on behalf of local organizations and landed $4.1 million. That's new money injected, directed to our community. They applied, and then, so this quarter 1 report indicates $198,000 were applied on behalf of local organizations, and so far $50,000 has been approved. So that's just one example under the Community Impact Fund where the partnership's making a good difference, strong impact. Anything else? If no other comments, we'll move on to the item 6B, that's Provincial Capital Assistance Program.
We did receive a letter. This is just confirmation of what we already spoke about the PCAP funding being denied. We received a letter from the Department of Municipal Affairs informing the town that our Provincial Capital Assistance Program application towards the South 4th Street sewer line project was denied.
Okay, thank you. And item C is from Pictou County. Healthy Pictou County.
Nicole LeBlanc, Project Navigator with Healthy Pictou County, has forwarded their July and August reports. Of special note in the July report, North Nova Family Medicine welcomed 11 new medical residents and 4 are in Pictou County. So this is information for council.
Thank you, CAO Grover. Any questions, discussion? 6D is from People First Disability.
So the town received a thank you note from People First Nova Scotia in August. It reads, on behalf of People First Nova Scotia and the Pictou County chapter, I would like to thank you for permitting the disability flag raising ceremony last month, referencing in July, and also for your financial assistance with their Disability Pride event. Your generosity is greatly appreciated and helped make the day a huge success. So this is for information only.
Thank you. Item E is a letter from the Honourable John Lohr, Minister of Municipal Affairs.
On August 5th, the town received a letter from Honourable John Lohr, Minister of Municipal Affairs. The details of the letter are, in June, we commissioned a comprehensive value for money audit into the operations and governance of the Nova Scotia Firefighter School. This letter is to inform you that we released our findings publicly today. The findings of the report were troubling. They show a consistent failure to uphold a culture of safety and serious unaddressed safety-related deficiencies. The report also identified a dysfunctional governance structure, outdated bylaws, non-existent committees, lack of strategic planning, and a decline in infrastructure. Other issues noted in the report were lack of stakeholder engagement, inadequate oversight of the executive director, eroded public trust, and a loss of confidence by firefighters. As a result, the province is ending its relationship with the school. A steering committee on firefighter training will be established in the coming weeks to oversee an interim training plan and to guide the work on a long-term comprehensive training model for firefighters once the results of a broader fire services review are in. The goal is to have the interim training available by fall. The results of the audit will also help to inform a broader 5 services review focusing on governance, operations, communications, funding, and more, expected in September. And this is for information on it.
Your worship, would it be all right if I asked the chief if he could give us an update on what's going on with the fire school?
We welcome it, Chief, but no pressure if you're not prepared.
Thank you for asking, but so far I haven't heard any updates. I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to head with this, but I received the same letter that was just read, and that's the last correspondence that I have as well. But we're hoping that they're going to come up with something for the province, but it's not probably going to be at the same location or with the same stakeholders. So. But if I hear anything, I'll make sure you folks know as well. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate the question. I was also wondering, what are the options, the
What's the
alternatives out there?
ramifications of this
Yeah.
closing? What's it going to do to the training for firemen?
Well, it indicates it's going to be secured by the fall, right? Or at least something proposed.
I don't mind giving my input on this as I'm a proud member of the fire department as well. Luckily, it doesn't have a whole lot of impact on local fire departments. Most of us, including Stellarton, do our own in-house training. So, and it's level 1. We get the proper text, follow all the certain requirements of training, pass certain tests, and then go from there. The school is a separate level for someone that was wanting to do career firefighting, which means you're paid for it. Pictou County doesn't have paid firefighters, so it's not an issue in our area. But so we're going ahead as nothing's changing, if that helps any.
Well, great. Thank you for the clarification, Mark.
Oh, definitely. It absolutely helps. It's rather scorching review. So how does it affect us? I'm hearing not really.
Just to add to that, and go along with what Mark mentioned, we do have a level 1 training course here in the county. A lot of the former instructors at Waverley are local firefighters as well, so we do have qualified people here in the local area. So it's usually in the fall when the local level 1 starts, normally in October and ends up before the summer. And so right now we're in good standing, like all our members are trained. So, but like I said, I don't have any more updates as to what the next steps are, but I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to go from here. But we're safe and secure in the town of Stellarton.
Well, that's good to hear.
Guaranteed. Okay.
Well, that's great. Good discussion. Thanks very much. That brings us to item 6F, Nova Scotia Emergency Management.
So we received a letter August 19th from Sandra McKenzie. She's Deputy Minister of Emergency Management. The details of the letter are, the province has banned travel in the woods and has put restrictions and offered guidance for farming and industrial activities until the drought ends and the fire risk is reduced. While many activities in or near the woods have stopped, there's still many Nova Scotians sleeping rough in these tinder dry areas. Nobody wants to overburden our already strained fire services, women and men, by failing to take the necessary steps to protect wooded areas. We also don't want to put first responders at even greater risk by having to go into burning woods for search and rescue operations. Most of all, we do not want to leave any vulnerable person to remain in a dangerous situation. As Deputy Minister of Emergency Management, I am asking you to make every reasonable effort to relocate anyone sleeping rough in the woods to a safe location. Opportunities in social development have been working to provide sheltering spaces for all, and they can assist with the wraparound supports for those experiencing homelessness. So this letter does conclude with contact information for assistance through the Provincial Coordinator Center, and this letter has been shared with their Chief of Police and Fire Chief, and this is for information only.
Great, thank you. Brings us to item 6G, Department of Natural Resources, the Office of the Fire Marshal. Okay, that brings us to 6G, Department of Natural Resources and the Office of the Fire Marshal.
So on August 7th, the town received notice from the Department of Natural Resource and Office of the Fire Marshal regarding restrictions of travel and activities in the woods. And the restrictions still are in place for Pictou County. I think the only parts of Nova Scotia that they've been lifted right now are Cape Breton, Guysborough, Antigonish, down to HRM, but Northern Nova Scotia, Yarmouth still have restrictions in place.
Great, thank you. Item 6H is Pictou Antigonish Regional Library.
So on August 22nd, the town received an email from Eric Stackhouse, Chief Librarian for Pictou Antigonish Regional Library, with an update on the library funding situation. The Regional Library Boards of Nova Scotia were recently informed by the Community Culture, Tourism and Heritage Minister, Davis Ritchie, that a one-time interim amount of $800,000 will be forthcoming. The amount is to be divided up by the old funding formula, so Pictou Antigonish Regional Library will receive approximately $67,000. The minister also committed to reconvening the Library Funding Review Committee in the very near future. So on behalf of the board, Mr. Stackhouse wishes to thank councils for their support and advocacy, and it is certain this was a deciding factor in the minister's decision.
Thank you. And a side note on that, I recall that was a reach out to each town, and this was taken up at the mayor's and warden meeting. And there was a subsequent letter written, so it's great to see results do turn sometimes on these letters, and it's important to get together and express concerns and work together toward, you know, the desired outcome. Now, they received about half of what they'd asked for, but nonetheless, it's a big, from what I gather, a big step, big help to the effort. Item 6I, Greg McDonald, Patterson Law.
So our very last item under correspondence, it's a list. A thank you from retired lawyer Greg McDonald, who worked with Patterson Law and retired this past June. I have formally retired after 50 years of practicing law and would like to express my gratitude for the privilege of working with you and assisting with your legal referrals and business needs. It has been an honor to serve the public with you, and I am grateful for the trust, loyalty, and support placed in me.
Thank you very much. And that's our correspondence list. We're on to item 7, Pictou County Prostate Cancer Support Association. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is me, I think. Okay, so this is an organization. There's a letter, there's correspondence received. We are the Pictou County Prostate Cancer Support Association. Our number one goal is to promote awareness of prostate cancer. We are seeking you to help us shine a light on prostate cancer. Now, this was a request presented earlier to have the light shine. As many would notice, the blue light on the town hall during the month of September. Yep. That's in awareness of prostate cancer. It goes on to read that 1 in 8 men will be affected by the disease. So big relevant cause, and so we had voted previously remotely and agreed to do this, so you will see the town lit up in blue for the month of September. And this is okay. Item 8 is open forum. If we have anybody in the gallery who wishes to speak in the open forum. Going once, going twice, going 3 times, none. Okay. No open forum. No one speaking in the open forum. We're on item 9. Next council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 14th at 5:30 p.m. And I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.